Okay, so this time we have a little bit different system, but we're going to solve by addition. So algebraically, we're going to be able to do this. This top equation, I'll just tell you what it is. It's an ellipse or an oval shape. We don't cover those in this course. They're in chapter 7 of your textbook, but we used to cover them, but we don't do that. So if you take pre-calc, you'll do conic sections, and an ellipse is a conic section. But think of an elliptical machine. Anyway, they're really cool, but we just don't cover it. And then the bottom one is also a circle. So I'll give you a picture, a little visual of what's going to happen, but first let's solve it algebraically. So we're going to solve by the addition method. What we would like to do is either have the x squareds drop out or the y squareds drop out. So if we multiply this bottom equation by -1, we'll have the top equation being 4x squared plus y squared equals 13. That one won't change. But the bottom equation would become -x squared minus y squared equals -10. And when we combine them, we can add equations. That's the idea of the addition method. We get 3x squared, right? Because 4 minus 1. Those drop out. That's what we wanted, something to eliminate. And then 13 and -10 is 3. Now that gives us an equation in one variable that we can solve. We're going to divide both sides by 3. And we get x squared equals 1. This is a quadratic equation, but fortunately here we can take the square root of both sides. When we do that, don't forget the plus or minus. So we get two answers. We get x equals plus or minus 1. Okay, so what happens if x is 1? Well, let's go ahead and use this bottom equation because we still have to find y. So if x is 1, we would have 1 squared plus y squared equals 10. Or 1 plus y squared equals 10. Or subtracting the 1 from both sides, y squared equals 9. Now, I can take the square root of both of those, so the square root of each side, to solve for y. Y equals plus or minus 3. Now, be very careful here. So what happened was I plugged in 1. That was one of my solutions. I have two solutions, 1 and -1. But just the solution 1 got me two answers. So where am I going to write my answers? I'll write them over here. 1 and -3, that's a solution. And then 1 and +3 is another solution. Okay? All right, so that's two solutions. Now we have to look at if x is -1. So I'm going to go to that same equation, but I'm going to put in a -1. And you can kind of see, oh, I think I know what's going to happen here. But if you don't, let's work it out. 1 plus y squared equals 10, because -1 squared is still 1. Subtract the 1. So you see what's happening here. Take the square root of both sides, and you get the same two answers, plus or minus 3. So we also have solutions of -1, -3, and -1, +3. So there are 4 solutions for this system, okay? And that's what they are. Now, as a picture, what happens is there's a circle that's centered at the origin. Here, let me draw a coordinate system. And then there's an ellipse that goes something like this. And these points of intersection, you have 4 of them. And apparently they're the points 1, -3, 1, 3, -1, -3, and -1, 3. Okay. So that's kind of a picture of what's going on. And you do get 4 solutions here. Okay. You don't have to be able to graph it, but you have to understand the algebra to solve it. Okay. But kind of fun, I hope.